And Muma going to be on the flank to start things off, opposite of Hydration. So early dive, be the name of the game here. We'll see if Muma is going to commit to this. They can collapse on a support very easily.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Sinatra Wrecking Ball. We'll see what he's got in store.
When is Muma going to come on through? Ooh, Hydration. All right, they're just going to go for it right away, even after the translocation. Hydration's not there.
You know, from on high, Sinatra just pile driving into the enemy team. Muma gets one on Alamo, and that's going to be enough to stall Brazil a bit and let the U.S. set up defensively again.
Yeah, that Hydration, they thought they had an advantage. The Brazil coming in, and Muma's just going to play aggro one more time as they clog up the choke point right now. Sinatra's going to have to roll back as he is anti-healed by the biotic grenade.
Yeah, Muma had to fall back for the same reason too, so you got to be careful about that. The Ana can change things and keep that Winston dead real quick. Meanwhile, that is a lot of damage. Man, the juggling coming in from Sinatra. Hydration gets Liko. Ooh, dangerous pulse bomb. Everybody lives though.
The amount of damage you can do with these drops with the Winston and
goes again.
And the Wrecking Ball, they're coming in and they're just going to double jump onto them, boost into them as well. Space is coming in. This is insane styling from Team USA. No, not quite there, but you know who is there? It's Honorato. They'll just leave him to waltz back into spawn. There's no way that he can reset himself, so now he's going to take a nap. And oh no.
That is a long delay to get that mech back. And now you just kill him, right? Now that the team's back, you just kill him.
Here we go again.
That's what Sinatra's going to do, I think, right here. Gets Ole instead. Meanwhile, Liko sleeping on the Genji here. Tries to climb up the wall. 1 HP or so. Can he get away? Nope. Gets run over, man. That was like a bowling ball hitting the last pin in the lane right there.
Wow. What do you say about this? It's the same play.
Yeah.
Sinatra just using the grappling hook to come time and time again. Hydration's there. Target selection perfect for Team America.
Yep. And if you get that hack on the Liko too, that Genji.
Here we go, same thing.
Coming in again, and then the ult comes in, bounces him right into it. The sound barrier comes, that mitigates a little bit of the damage, but Alamo still goes down. Sinatra with that shield, man. Nobody's taking him out anytime soon. Liko in trouble, manages to avoid the slam. But still, it pushes Brazil back. They've got 3 ultimates to use now.
US just jumping on. Here we go. Speed boost coming in for Brazil. They finally are on the offensive.
Ole's going to be in big trouble, though. Dudu down already. Hydration was sneaking up behind that Ana. Raucus down, the one that falls. But yeah, Space is going to get him. They lost Raucus, but the rest of Brazil getting eliminated pretty quickly. Hello. How you doing? Nope. Goodbye. Not that well, I guess. Bummer.
These USA players are looking fantastic in terms of their coordination. It's a well-oiled machine that we're seeing right now.
I mean, again, this is probably a couple of the most one-sided Overwatch maps I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
All right, here we go again. We've seen this one before. He's got the ult this time, though, and this is what you do. You hit the Q, and then you slam to get the knockup, and a lot of Brazil had already moved through with that Lucio speed, so that ult from Sinatra not going to too much use, actually. Doesn't matter, though, because Ole down already. Muma hits him, then hits him with the Primal Rage, and as Brazil retreats, they have to go through that minefield, and the other side is going to be guarded by the USA players. So.
Well, not only that, Toa, but Honorato was on the other side of the minefield and pursued Hydration. Hydration just used his translocation, and it was a 6 versus 5. Honorato couldn't get there because he had already used his boost.
Yeah.
And so Brazil then has to retreat through the minefield. I mean, they are just peeling Brazil apart right now.
I could watch this all day, and I think we would if this map wasn't timed. Ole down again, almost immediately. The combination of the Wrecking Ball coming in with the Winston, you're just going to insta-give people with that. Brazil gets to the point, but nearly everybody's dead already. It's going to be probably the most dominant full hold I have ever seen on Temple of Anubis.
It's a non-standard comp, too. It's not like this is the Orisa, Junkrat, Widowmaker, high ground hold.
That's it.
That is it. That was just dirty.
Whoa.
There's not much to say.
What can you say? I mean, Sinatra followed the exact same attack pattern every single time they went in defensively, and you know, when you pair that with the big damage that Winston's doing on his leaps these days, that's going to be some dead supports pretty quick, isn't it?
Moth just riding around.
The Mothman cometh.
Right-clicking some hacked supports and a diva.
Wow. All right, well, not every day you get to be that bloodthirsty.
Also your agilities.
Unless you're Agilities, then you bring the DPS into the support role at that point.
That was magnificent.
That's what you do.
On Rialto yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. Get the 3K and then one right after it. Not too bad. Sound barriering himself. He's like, I got this.
What a boss.
Yep. That's what the Murloc said. Why there is a Murloc on the side of this big transport in there, but more importantly, why are none of the walls around the transport broken?
Yeah, how did
it
it
just
get there?
dropped in there by a parachute?
I don't know. It's a mysterious question. And if they dropped it in there as a parachute, it can't get out.
Can it?
So why wouldn't you
Can
just
it levitate? A lot of things can levitate, but it's got big wheels.
Oh, there's something with wheels. We were talking about that yesterday.
Oh yeah, there aren't a lot of wheels in Overwatch, but there's one. But see, look, if that big of a thing had driven in there, thank you, observers. Look, you'd think it would be more damage than that.
Yeah, they got some scaffolds, so it looks like they're repairing it. So
yeah,
maybe. So unless it drove in there like a few weeks ago, so they had time to build the scaffolds afterwards,
true.
right?
I think it's very irresponsible to drive in there like that. There's a lot of clearly ancient artifacts there that should be preserved.
It's also like half in. How did that happen?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. It just kind of slid inside. It parallel parks itself. You know, the technology is getting pretty accessible.
We figured it out, Doha.
Yeah, there we go. It parallel parked itself right over that sidewall. Solved. I'm glad we had this conversation. Brazil on the defense. USA, all they need to do is take one tick on point A, and they will go up 3-0 in this series, winning the series, even though we do have 4 maps to play.
So now we're going to see what happens when we have this wrecking ball on attack, because this is a tool that teams did not have previously when trying to break this high ground defense.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Already. Go on to that high ground. Whoa, right on to Lico, but Sinatra pays for it with his life. Dudu gets a nice headshot on Amuma too. So Brazil will not be taken by the very first attack here.
No, they won't. And Space also low there, so he can get demeched pretty easily. Space trying to run. He's going to get demeched. That's a... Oh, no! He gets get through. Wow. Barely getting there. 10 HP.
Slapping a Band-Aid onto that D.Va mech. I guess that works.
That could have been a disaster, but now USA actually has an attack, and they have more support all charged. That's great for them.
Up again, Dudu down right away. Coming in, there's a tire, you gotta avoid it. See if Lico can pick anybody up with this. Meanwhile, his team falling. He does get Raucous, but the fight definitely going the way of the United States. Hydration Mula on that Genji, getting close to the blade. May not need it. Alamo down on that Mercy. And remember, the US only needs a 1 point. The blade may seal the deal. There's the self-destruct. Gets him on the way down. He's like, that's okay. I can trade this one for one. It's not a problem. You know why? Because the US is going to win this match right about now.
Not a normal decision you had seen made, but there were still 4 people on the point, so it is A-OK.
He kind of played soft-pitch baseball with Mini D.Va there coming down.
Just threw one up right into his sword.
That's so. I'd definitely have a smile on my face if I had just won a series like that. We still have 1 more map to go, but man.
It's like Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, it was. basically playing Fruit Ninja on easy mode. Only one thing to worry about. Well, 1 more map to play, guys, but that's going to be the U.S. Taking this one over Brazil. And, you know, Brazil did look good yesterday against Canada. They looked good in the early matches, certainly looked good in that reverse sweep over Norway. But man, tough start to the day for them today.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit rough for Brazil, because even though they can pull out the Sombra, there's just, you know, having access to that Doomfist has become more and more important as this weekend has gone on here in the Los Angeles stage of the Overwatch World Cup, and teams that have high-level Doomfist players are making a big impact, and it just doesn't seem like Brazil is ready for this meta. You could see what Wrecking Ball can do as well in some of these matches. Sinatra just absolutely dominating on that hero, and it's rough to go against that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look at the maps in this series so far. It's been a 3-0 from the United States on Nepal, Kings Row, and Anubis. And Brazil has elected Junkertown to be the final map in this series. Interesting. This is a map that can get a bit wacky on attack sometimes. So I wonder what we're going to see. Is it going to be the pirate ship? And is the U.S. going to bring in kind of the crazy picks that we've seen already today, too? Because I agree with you, too, that I think right now, in this current meta, you need to have a good Wrecking Ball, Doomfist, and Sombra. Ana helps too, but pretty much everybody's got a good Ana these days. But you need those other 3 heroes to be able to compete in the meta at the highest level right now.
Yeah, and I think the logic here behind the selection from Brazil is that, you know, on the USA side, they don't really have a great Widowmaker or Hanzo player, right? Hydration's very flexible, so we'll assume he can play Hanzo, but, you know, Sinatra is not really known for his Widowmaker play, and this is a map that thrives in double sniper. So maybe Brazil thinks they have an advantage when it comes to compositions here, a way to handle Team USA. This is interesting.
Perhaps. I mean, right now on the attack, they have 3 DPS. I don't know, or 4 DPS rather. I don't imagine it's going to stay that way. You'd think Neil is going to swap to tank, and he has been sitting on the Doomfist until the very end in a lot of these lobbies. But Alamau, yeah, probably not going to stay on the far right either. So I think we are going to get that double sniper like you're talking about.
Yeah, I think we will, and I understand the logic behind Brazil's selection here. If you just look at the roster of Team USA, you're looking at this, you're like, well, we don't really have a great chance of winning, but this is probably our best chance of winning. And there's also always possibility you go with the Bastion and just try and get a free roll throughout the entire map. You never know when that Bastion's just going to cap you all 3 points.
And it looks like it's going to be full 3-3 from Brazil.
Oh, man.
Going for the goats.
Well, maybe we'll see the double sniper on the defense.
Could be, yeah. I mean, I think double sniper is certainly a great strategy on Junkertown on attack, and they are going to do a little bit of swapping at the end, maybe. Widowmaker. We'll see. Already, the Wrecking Ball coming in. Oh, I like this engage. Nobody's going to see this one coming, man. Big knockup from Sinatra. Gets a lot of shields from that E as well. Gets out while the getting is good. And already Brazil stalled just a little bit here.
Alamau does make it out this time. Yeah. The first one to fall in that aggressive attack. Brazil ready for it this time around, but the double ground pound from the Winston and the Wrecking Ball, too much to handle for Dudu.
A great sleep dart on Honorado, too, to make sure that no damage was being absorbed on the way in. And yeah, I mean, this combo right now between Wrecking Ball and Winston, it's just so much damage when it lands that it's, unless you do something like hack the Wrecking Ball in the air when it's coming down, it's going to be really tough to stop that.
We see Sinatra, too, really pushing the Wrecking Ball to the limits. Been in double-digit HP a couple of times now, but everybody's on the ball, as it were, in terms of healing him up.
Brazil behind the 8 ball here, behind the
Wrecking Ball.
Behind the Wrecking Ball, I suppose. We can adjust that. And Muma has got that Primal Rage if he needs it. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, Dudu. Oh, stunned, but it's not going to save you, is it? Oh, goodbye. Bummer. Ole does get one onto hydration here. Muma going back to protect the rest of his team. It was a little bit of a separation they have to deal with. Neil gets a charge onto Raucus, and with Moth down too, the distraction from Dudu has been enough to get the payload moving a bit.
Yeah, finally gets some movement there. Muma also will be staggered late spawn, so Brazil gets out of the gates. They're holding onto a lot of ultimates. They can rally should Team USA decide to re-engage on this point, but I don't think they're going to. Hydration wants to switch off to his famous Pharah play instead. And it looks like Team USA, well, they're regathering right now. They're going to go for this.
He's doing it, man. He doesn't have the ult yet, but he got the big knockup now. Neil walking forward, had a nice Earth Shatter to try to work off of. Or the Brazilian team, but he just gets bounced around everywhere. Man, it is so hard to be a Reinhardt and not get CC'd to death in this meta. Lico does get a kill on the Moth, though, so Brazil getting the 6v5 here. Muma with that nano boost. Maybe he can get up and up to do the Primal Rage and try to do something, but no, he gets caught in the grab. Now it's Hydration, trying to get kills onto Ole. Ole will fade away, but not be forgotten as he's still alive.
Couldn't quite get it.
I think Honorado had that charge too, so he was going to be okay either way.
USA tried to go in once again, especially off of Sinatra's engage. We've always known that as a player, he's very aggressive. He has balls of steel, but now he is a ball of steel.
That is true.
But then
giant singular ball of steel.
Thinks better of it. Yeah. Switch off back to the Doomfist. Brazil, they're not cowed by the engage, but they did have to use basically every resource they had to push it forward to point A. Muma now going to go ahead and camp this payload as long as he can. But
Muma's just being annoying right now. And you don't do this normally. You would never see this in the Overwatch League. This is just disrespect right now from Team USA. They're doing this because they know that they can get away with it, right? Look at that. Muma even gets out, gets sealed up. Alamo does get the kill onto Hydration, but Space right back there with his self-destruct onto Lico. The US being just crazy aggressive here, but they've already won the series too, so, you know, you don't really need to play this one too seriously, do you?
No, they don't. Although the map score, you never know when that's going to come back and bite you. Dudu now on the defensive. Neil's still up. He's got the Shatter, won't be using that. They're trying to regroup right now. Hydration floating over to rejoin his teammates. But as you said, Muma was there just, you know, providing pressure on the payload, knowing that he had the Primal Rage. And the thing is, it was a 6 versus 5. Like, Raucus was not in sightline to kill those tanks.
All right, hydration bounces some people out here. Has to worry about the Diva Honorado getting in there. It's going to be a nice heal there. Oh, but no. Brazil coming in and grabbing a couple, so they may be able to get this payload moving. Still have a decent amount of time on the clock, too. And yeah, the U.S. kind of collapses on that one.
Again, USA playing so aggressively. They're caught in an easy graviton. Allows the rest of Team Brazil alongside Lico to mop them up.
You brought up a good point, though, with the map score, too, because Canada did get the 4-0, right, at the end of the day. So if the U.S. kind of plays it funny and gives a map away here, that could actually come back to haunt them a bit. So you do want to win this map, even if you already have won the series. You're kind of playing for fun here. You do want to take it seriously. Muma taken out of the air by Neil. Pinned with that primal rage, plus the nano boost is going to make it very tough to take him down. Meanwhile, Honorado does get two with the self-destruct. Hydration rezzed, but Brazil's still pushing this payload forward. Uh-oh.
This is getting sloppy now from the American team. They're trickling in one by one, and Brazil is reacting better. They're playing a more defensive style. They're just catching the members of USA who are overcommitting to these positions. Muma now switching to a Reinhardt. Hydration will be changing over to Brigitte. Right now, Brazil is on a rampage. They're trying to catch these members of Team USA close back by their spawn. They're going to get raucous.
Hey, man, they're saying, hey, we know how to be aggressive, too. And the thing is that when Brazil feels comfortable, when they're in a composition, in a situation that they know well, they're really hard to stop, right? And the U.S. needs to understand that.
And now with Lico dying, being on Zarya, can't get there quickly, and this is bad for Brazil. If they hadn't given up Lico there in exchange for Raucus, not a good trade for the offense, because now they have to walk back through these chokes, and this is dangerous on Junkertown.
It sure is. They get through it, though. They do get back onto the payload. Muma waiting it out, man. We'll see if the Sound Bear, or the Earth Shatter rather, comes through. Alemo does get the kill on the Hydration. He's been doing that a lot today.
Sinatra caught on the flank.
Cornered, pinned, taken down. Ole finishes him off with the Moira. Gets Muma as well, the Tank Slayer. And that payload's moving. They've got 3 people on it, too, so it's making as much distance as it possibly can right now.
Yeah, still 2 minutes for Brazil as well. A good amount of time, especially when you have 5 ults to show for. USA, they're going to have a nano boost and a shatter, optimistically. They don't have Zarya charge right now. They're going to open this with a shatter.
All right, can they get any kills off with no self-destruct coming in? Gets blocked, though, but Muma down, too much damage. Ole finishes him with the Coalescence, and the U.S., they are in a lot of trouble here. They've got the quick respawns, but they're going to need to get everybody back there in a hurry. Brazil nearly has this one.
They're going to keep on pushing. It's hydration and a D-Mech space left on the payload. Rally is not going to be enough to save the day.
No, that's going to be about it. Muma gets back there just in time, evaporated, and Brazil will finish with a little over a minute in the time bank. That was a clean attack at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, yeah, they got held up at point A, but USA undisciplined in their defense beyond that, and punished by a Brazilian team that was much better at reacting to that aggression.
Yeah, I mean, maps 2 and 3 were pretty one-sided, but you still have to take this Brazilian team seriously. It's like I said, I feel like when they are comfortable, when they're in their element, that is a great self-destruct from Honorado, no doubt. When they're in their element, I think they really do know how to play their compositions out well. And that's why Junkertown is a good choice here, right? Because it is one of those maps, too, where if you get the ball rolling on attack, you can use that momentum to push all the way through, and I think they did a very efficient, good job of doing that.
I think they did too. And now it'll be USA's turn to match that 3-point score. And if our eyes are to be believed, it will be Sinatra on the Bastion. I don't think they're going to switch that. I think they're just going to roll through with the Bastion.
Yeah, I think that's certainly possible. Wouldn't be surprised to see Raucus on that one, but who knows, probably you could play the Ana again with this.
I think they will. I don't think they're going to run the single support. Raucus may take a shot here right out of the door as the Widowmaker. Yeah. Of course, Raucus known for playing the Bastion on this map on the Houston Outlaws, so always a possibility, like you say, though.
Yeah. So I was kind of wondering. A little bit surprising to see Sinatra on that one. But if you're going to run this comp, I suppose you can do it. Hydration's going to be on the Brigitte, it looks like. And meanwhile, Brazil. Now they're going to try to play this one really aggressively too, but they're not crouching or anything. So, okay, they thought about it, but thought the better. I mean, the U.S. knows they're there. If anybody's looking out of the doorway,
I mean, you have to play the doors, too, is the thing. Like, you have to. If they're going to play the Bastion, and you think they are, you need to prevent them from getting set up onto the payload, from getting a lot of those barriers in place. And That's what they're going to do. So it's going to be high ground, though. Sinatra going to be zoning them out. And just be space dropping down and trying to push this. They need to force them to walk out of that door. Very methodical play. Hydration is going to be slapping them from the top with that flail.
I mean, this is classic, man. This is what you do. If you're worried that they've set up close to try to take the Bastion down, you start off on the high ground there. And yeah, this is what it does. It forces them to go back because you can't come out of the door that way.
Yep.
Sinatra still has to get under the payload, though, and that can be a little bit tricky here. Oh, gonna get that shield in front of him. Sinatra, a little bit of trouble. Gets pinned from behind by Neil.
Doesn't matter, though, Doa. The rest of the damage was done. When you play that aggressively, sure, you can kill the Bastion, but it may come at the cost of literally everybody else on your team.
Yep, pretty much. Neil does get hydration, though. So Brazil still in this defense a little bit. Nice sleep dart onto Neil, but he gets woke up, gets the healing. Not a lot of damage for the U.S. right now to push Brazil back with.
It's still going to be
slowly but surely. They've got those respawns.
Yeah, and Dudu is almost back right now, but they lost some ground on this payload. We're going to see a self-destruct very fast from space.
All right, yeah. Interesting angle there. Meanwhile, the Graviton Surge comes in from Brazil. Dudu, though, pays for it. Now Sinatra on the payload. Nobody protecting him, but he doesn't seem to need it, man. Just putting down the damage onto Liko. Easy kill there.
I mean, that self-destruct was a solo self-destruct, or Graviton, rather, was a solo Graviton onto Muma.
Ugh.
And he got nanoed, so had some damage reduction, and it ends up not doing very much. Sinatra now going to be there with the tank mode as America will capture point A. One final defense for Brazil.
They're going to try to come out of the door, but that is dangerous against the Bastion, and this is exactly why Oleg gets him in the end, but as we saw earlier, the damage has been done. You get the Bastion, but you give up the team, you give up the point.
And you also stagger.
Yeah.
And Sinatra's just going to be rezzed. So you don't end up with a whole lot there. Brazil still with an ult advantage, though, and especially because they're coming up on 2 with Liko and Honorato. Ole had just used his Coalescence because he was planning on switching over to the Ana anyway, so might as well throw it out.
You know, this is what you also do, though. If you take that last-minute fight, you give up the ability to set up defensively on point B. So it's really kind of tough to fight the attackers from this side now. Yeah, you just move a little bit farther back. You can get on the payload, too, if you want, but why not take the high ground for now? Here we go. Trying to charge right in here. We'll see what they've got in mind. Hydration down already. Neil not afraid, man. He will charge into pretty much anything. Tank mode for Sinatra, but with the shield up right now and the sound barrier, you're not going to get any kills on that.
No, you're not. But you're also going to prevent them from moving too far forward. Neil coming in. He's got a shatter. He's going to get a pin, though, onto Raucus.
That works. All right, well, USA sent back to spawn, and now is when you switch comps.
And that is exactly what is going to happen.
Yep.
Sinatra will be trying his hand at the Zarya. It's been working well for Team USA in this match. Both now also wants to make that transition to the Lucio. Give them a little bit more mobility to match the speed boost of Brazil. They're going to roll through. Self-destruct going to start it off.
All right, yeah, just going to go ahead and drop it there. Charge comes through to try to break some of the shielding. Muma down, as is Raucus. Brazil with a pretty good hold here. It's a good self-destruct because it was right in that choke point, so it split up Team USA. That is how you want to use that when they're coming through these narrow corridors, and it results in a Brazil win. Pretty much. 3 minutes on the clock for the U.S. Remember, you do want the 4-0. At the end of the day, that map score may matter. It's unlikely to, but it might matter. Meanwhile, Neil has the Earth Shatter. Lays a few people low, gets a shield up in time to block. That self-destruct gets a charge again. Now he's got the nano boost. We'll see who can get. Oh, man, Hydration and Sinatra in a lot of trouble getting forced back into that hallway. Against the nano Rhine, you don't want that. And that's another crushing teamfight win by Brazil.
That's a nice play by Neil right there. Had the nano boost deal the damage, but critically also was able to counter the self-destruct. You know, America wasn't able to get any space, push the payload, and instead it allowed Neil to play aggressively because he wasn't worried about getting knocked back or disabled.
In a world where main tanks are a pretty hot commodity right now in professional Overwatch, Neil's definitely someone I think they should be looking at. The team should be looking at, rather. Meanwhile, Graviton Surge up for Liko, and he's going to go ahead and just drop it. Only gets hydration with that one, though. All right, they've got the numbers advantage, but still a little bit rough. Earth Shatter gets blocked. Muma taken out by Neil again. He slept, but hey, man, that's just a power nap at this point. Yeah, take a break.
Taking a break right on that payload. Nobody's going to be moving it while he's there, and especially not when America is repelled once again and has to think things over in the spawn. So now we're only at 1.5 minutes remaining. Sinatra will have that Graviton Surge. It's about all the tools they have in their box right now. Honorato slept once again, and that's going to be a Graviton low, but there's a sound barrier.
That sound barrier right away from Alamau, and we'll see if Brazil can chain that into kills. It looks like they can. Neil again gets the nano boost, and when you come through that narrow choke as the U.S., you gotta worry about the Ryan Hammer with a nano boost, man. That's gonna do so much damage to you.
I mean, Raucus hits the nade, right? But it doesn't matter when you have a sound barrier on you already. You're not looking to get healed up in that situation. Instead, you can just power through on the offensive, and that's what Brazil pulls off. So EMP, not the best use. Rock is also gonna pull out a nano boost on Muma.
Decent grenade from Ole as well. Try to get things started here. Now Neil down, and the U.S. at the last moment wins the fight. And they should be able to get some distance now here, but it's a good delay from Brazil. That's going to split their team, though, so I don't know if they're going to really have a great opportunity to defend at the end of this one.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe you do.
We'll see if they want to commit to this. There's a lot of ults right now for USA. If I'm Brazil, I let them have this, okay? You're going to put some extra time on the clock for USA, but you're going to control the chokes. Like, you want to control the chokes and try and
be able to get there.
Stall them out at point C, or they could take it.
Oh, they might be able to just barely get there. Last minute defense last time didn't work out. Ooh, nice grenade comes in from Raucus. Gotta worry about that one. Now the sound barrier from the U.S. Graviton Surge comes in for Brazil, though. No kills out of that one. Neil finally picks up hydration. Earthshatter comes through from Neil as well. Oh, but there's Liko dropping to the self-destruct. And yeah, it looks like once again a last-minute defense by Brazil not quite doing the job. And the nice thing now is they do have time to regroup while the door opens. Yeah, they got the whole team there in time, so I think you could take that one, but in the end, the U.S. does get it.
I think that's going to be a fight they want back. I mean, maybe you could sort of bait out a couple of ultimates from Team USA right there, but I wouldn't have committed as hard as they did. I would have tried to just economy push it, force them to use ults, and then have ults here. Instead, we end up in a pretty bad situation for Brazil in the end.
Sleep dart on Honorato already. Looks like he might get DMEC very, very soon. He will. Alamau with a kill onto Raucus. Rumba going for the charge, but doesn't need to hit that pin. Sinatra there for the damage, and now Brazil's starting to look a little bit scattered. That said, the U.S. only 50 seconds remaining.
And also, right now, you can see Neil is on the outside. Looked like, let's see where he actually ends up pushing with the rest of the team. Yeah, no, he was coming from his spawn. It was a little bit weird angle there through the wall.
Yeah.
So he is with everybody else.
Okay. Going back around now. A fight they need to win. Raucus, though, waiting for it. There's a grab coming in. Gets a nice grenade on them again. Alamau down. And the U.S. seems to just have Brazil's number at this point. Got a little bit serious now. And with the 3-3 coming out, I think the U.S. is done playing games on this map.
There's still a rally, though, for Brazil and a nano boost. So a chance here to armor up a little bit before this next engagement. Match that rally from hydration on Team USA. Still going to be hard for Brazil to hold this.
Yeah, Muma needs a good Earthshatter here if they want to get a clean push. Dudu does take down Raucus. There's the Earthshatter. A lot of that was blocked. Sound barrier for Brazil, too. They've got a lot of power coming behind this one. And the U.S. is into overtime. If they lose this fight, they may not win this map. Brazil pushing forward. They are winning it here. Self-destruct comes in. Gonna need to be a big one. Doesn't catch anybody, though. Neil a little bit on his own, but not as on his own as the members of U.S. are. 3 people left. Sinatra has that sound barrier, but the shield is gone, and they can't stay on the payload. Brazil will take the final map in the series.
Once again, sound barrier comes up huge for Brazil as they take Junkertown right as it's about to cross the goal line. That's where their defense will win the map. However, Team USA still up 3-1.
Yeah, it is a win for the U.S. in the end, but Brazil made him pay for it a little bit. The Junkertown pick at the end seemed to work out pretty well, and again, going forward, it's probably not going to make a big difference, but that is a map score disadvantage for the U.S. going forward.
Yeah, I'm impressed that Brazil managed to come back on that map, though. Once you've already lost the match, and especially on King's Row.
The way they lost.
Yeah, and on Anubis, the way they lost, I think it shows a lot of fortitude to be able to come back and say, all right, we're going to still put on a good performance.
Yeah, that is rough. So for our post-game interview, we've got Space down on the floor. We'll have to see what he says about that match.
Thank you so much, fellas. That's right, I got Space. Give it up for the Diva from Team USA. Now, as a former Diva main, before I brought out the puck fist, I watched your gameplay, and I learned a lot, most about how you keep your supports alive and using the defense matrix. Now that we're seeing all kinds of GOATs comps and lots of heavy tank play. What does that mean for you as a D.Va player?
It means I have to focus much more on their backline, eating air grenades, eating Morio orbs, focusing on grabs and Ryan Fire Strike in specific, and just making sure that we get our ults first, whereas they're falling behind.
Well, last night we saw Brazil really clutch up against Norway. Coming into today, you were the #2 team in USA. You had one win, and we saw this Brazilian squad, they were kind of the threat coming in. We saw them take a map at the very end. Did you guys kind of let off the gas pedal, or was that really Brazil showing their strength?
Oh, I think in the beginning we thought we had a good counter strat, but really Goats was actually better than our comp. So they kind of just snowballed off first point, and after that I feel like we couldn't find our footing coming into our attack. So Brazil really just played well on Junkertown, and their Goat strat was like really good. They held us on second point for like 2 minutes. So I think they still are a strong team, and nobody can underestimate them, but they still played pretty well.
They did play well. Give it up for Brazil, guys. Doesn't look like they're going to be in the running for that #2 spot. You guys made sure of that, and you still have plenty of matches still to go. But I want to ask about this last one. We saw you play Torb. We saw you play Zarya throughout this one. What was the best play that we might not have seen on camera from you individually?
Maybe eating the grabs, probably Lico's grabs. I ate about 4 or 5, I think, this series, so that was
4 or 5 grabs eaten by this man. Give it up one more time. This is Space from Team USA. You'll see them a little bit later on. For now, let's send it back to our casters, Monty and Doa.
Thanks, Puckett. There you go. Just more evidence of why Space, one of the best flex tanks out there, and like you said, definitely in contention for the best North American player.
He is the best American. Not North American, American player.
Best American player.
If we expand it to Canada, there's more of an argument to be had.
A real American hero. There you go. Well, the USA taking down Brazil 3-1. You guys have been talking about it online. Let's check out to see what the T-Mobile Fan Pulse, brought to you by America's fastest network, has to say. Fastest network ever, apparently. Ever. Well, Space's 0 damage was just wow. Yeah, I would say his damage was pretty good, but I think the utility, like we talked about, he ate those grabs.
He also ate Dragon Strikes as well.
He did. He had a lot of good boops. He had a lot of good displacement with the D.Va. Just, a great player overall, for sure.
Absolutely.
That's right. Let's check out the second one. What else? What else have you got to say? Twitter? Imagine having supports like Raucus and Moth. Yeah, that would be pretty nice, I suppose. But
I'd appreciate that.
Knowing
that's
rank,
for sure.
you still wouldn't listen to him.
Also, Raucus would shot call for you, but you wouldn't listen to him. You should.
To him. Yep.
Listen to your supports, everybody.
Mostly if it's
they can actually see everything on the field of battle most of the time, so they're probably the best position to shot call from.
You'd think so. The more you know, right? Well, guess what? Sinatra, as has well known for a while, is very good on a lot of different heroes, and he's added the Wrecking Ball, the Hammond, now into his repertoire.
I think he looked great.
Yeah.
It's really, obviously, Sinatra's one of the most fun players to watch play because his style is so flashy and so aggressive, and we got to see that again. I mean, that Anubis map was... that was fun.
Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Just go in the same way every time. So let's check out some highlights from that match. There were a lot of them between Team USA and Brazil. Let's check it out. Well, it all began on Nepal. Some good damage coming in from the self-destruct. Space, of course, getting 3 on that one. And this was a map that was a bit back and forth, wasn't it?
Yeah, and again, we saw, I think, Brazil starting stronger in some ways than they ended, even though they actually did win the last match of this series. I mean, especially after the half, I think they've struggled a little bit more. But as we're going to see here, I mean, Muma, it's a nice shatter there to start things off. Realizes that the Mercy is on the flank.
That's right, no mercy indeed. And this is one of those kind of weird situations where it's like you really feel like if Brazil would have maybe brought out like the Anime like we know they can on control points like that, that might have gone a different way. But either way, the Pharah not working out for Brazil.
Yeah, I was a little bit curious, and I still am a bit curious about Brazil's game plan here because I feel like they have some of these strengths and some of the more unusual or unorthodox compositions that they can pull out right now.
At this point, what are you saving it for,
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And also right now, as we look through these highlights for Brazil, they're not really in control of their own destiny anymore. Like, they need to rely on an upset win from another team at this point.
Pretty much.
Because they've lost to both USA and Canada to punch their ticket all the way to BlizzCon. But regardless, they put up some good performances so far. Lico, sadly occupied with his rip tire there. Sinatra comes in.
Like, what happens lore-wise with Junkrat when he uses his rip tire? Is he like telepathically linked or like technologically linked mentally with the tire as he's driving it around? Like, what's going on?
I mean, he's like holding his. Is he holding his ears or is he holding his?
I think he's
temple?
holding his ears, like he's expecting it to be loud, but maybe he's holding his temples because he made some sort of electronic connection with it.
And if you were
It's a science
Junkrat,
fiction thing.
wouldn't you control something cooler than a tire?
I don't know, like a drone that just flies around and shoots missiles. Why even go to the battlefield at that point? That's hang out.
That's a great question. Maybe it exhausts him, so he can't do it for very long.
Could be. That's right. It's just mentally taxing, to control that. You need two people to drift and all, right? That's how it is. Well, if you guys want to get on the conversation, hashtag OWWC 2018 on Twitter and let us know what you've been thinking about those matches. We've got another great match coming up next, guys, so don't go anywhere. More World Cup action coming at you very soon.